Is this recording?
I guess it is. Oh boy, I don't know how long I can do this. It is hot as hell here in southern France this summer. Oh my god, climate change, right? Oh! Basically, I'm here in Marseille visiting a friend and I thought I would try to do some sort of travel blog on it. And I guess if there's anything that we need these days, it's figuring out how to travel on a budget. So that's what this blog is going to be about. 3 days in Marseille for 100 euros. 100 euros to make sure that you're not missing out on any of the sights, any of the food, and any of the mood. Can you do it? We shall see. That's right, 100 euros. Obviously, this doesn't include hotel or travel costs because that varies wildly depending on season and whether or not you're willing to sleep on somebody's couch. And yes, I'm back home and in a different location. Props to you who guess where it is. Rather, consider 100 euros a baseline of what you can do in one of the most expensive parts of the world while still immersing yourself in culture and having a great time.
Whether you've arrived by train or bus, you'll have stopped into the Gare de Marseille Saint-Charles or St. Charles Station, even plane, because the cheapest way to get from the airport to Marseille city center is a 16 euro round ticket bus. Assuming you got here in time for lunch, get yourself a 3-day transport pass and take a tram or subway down to the Vieux Port, basically the center of all tourism in Marseille. Facing the port, head to the right on Quai du Port and go up 2 blocks to Grand Rue. Here, you'll come across your first food stop, an excellent and adorable sandwich shop with booth seating called Chez Fanny. You can get an excellent sandwich for 5 euros or a full meal including drink and dessert for 8.50. The sandwich choices range from French classics like steak to their own inventions crossing the cultures of the area. I got the Rasta, which was a chicken sandwich with cucumbers smothered with a delicious olive tapenade famous in the region. And from here, it's easy to go wander Le Panier, the oldest district in Marseille, which is full of charming little streets, adorable souvenir shops, and a bunch of bars and cafes that are unfortunately out of your price range.
Look, any restaurant in Marseille is going to cost at least 15 euros. And while that's not incredibly expensive for Europe, what we're looking for right now is awesome, cheap eats.
Instead, Le Panier is a place to soak in just through walking. Sun-dappled terraces, interesting street art, and architecture from the Middle Ages.
Next up is Musée and Fort St. John, the best places for exquisite views, and it's free as long as you don't go look in any of the exhibitions.
While I do think the exhibitions are worth the 10 euro entry fee, there is stuff to see even if you don't pay. For instance, the Multimedia Center is a great way to get a little aircon and watch some French multimedia. And going up to its beautiful roof terrace is free as well. From here, you can connect to Fort St. John, the whole of which is like a multi-layered park that could take hours to wander in by itself. Did I mention the nice views? When you're done, go back to stroll through Vieux-Port, soaking in the lively tourist atmosphere and beautiful views of boats. Near the end of the dock, you can take a quick detour north 2 blocks to see Jardin des Vestiges, a small public park with the archaeological remains of Greek walls from when it was still called Massilia by Greek and Phoenician settlers in 600 BC. From here, head into the neighborhood of Noa. Here, you get to see the diversity of the community of Marseille, with lots of North African immigrant shops and food stops in the area. And if you do have a separate budget for buying things, there are deals upon deals to be had. But none so amazing a deal as Pizza Charlie on the Rue du Marché du Campessin.
So first off, yes, Marseille is actually known for its pizza. In fact, Marseillans probably eat pizza way more than they do that other really famous dish that Marseille is known for, bouillabaisse. There are pizza shops all over the city, many of them set up originally by the Neapolitans who immigrated there in droves in the early 1900s.
Pizza Charlie continues in this fine tradition of food for the people by offering some really kick-ass pizzas for ridiculously low prices, including an entire pie of anchovy pizza for 5 euros. This is not a small pie, and it is delicious.
5 euros. 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 5 euros
Once you've been fortified, or more likely stuffed incredibly full of pizza, it's time to check out Rue Julian, the edgy artist enclave of Marseille. It's well worth walking through just to check out its street art, but we're going by their bars for some light snacks, pastis, and people watching through the rest of the night. Pastis, an anise-flavored spirit, is Marseille's drink of choice. You're given a shot, and then it's diluted with water to turn a milky white color. It is incredibly popular here and very cheap, about €2 per drink. Find yourself one of the many bars with tapas offerings. I went to L'Alchemist, which has an amazing selection of different types of pastis, and assuming you have the willpower and are following this challenge still, give yourself €10 to spend there.
Marseille surprisingly sleeps pretty early for this part of the Mediterranean region. Most food places no longer serve past 10 p.m., so assuming you've done all this walking, it's probably a good thing to just call it an early night. Total cost?
Take the bus to the Palais de Justice area and start your morning off with a boulangerie breakfast. Not surprisingly, pastries are delicious all over Provence. €5 can get you one, plus a drink and an espresso. From here, you can head up either by foot for a vigorous hike, or by the 60 bus to the Basilique Notre-Dame de la Garde, the cathedral on the mountain, one of the best-known sights of the city. Started in the 13th century and completed in 1864, it sits at the highest peak of Marseille. You can check out a 360-degree view from up there and take some pictures. I definitely did. Then walk your way down the hill or take the bus to the Abbaye Saint-Victor, a medieval abbey that's been around since the 5th century. During the plague of 1720, apparently the monks were so selfish, barricading themselves within their walls, that Pope Benedict XIII secularized this abbey into a collegiate church as punishment. While you're there, take a look and a snack at Fou de Navette, which has been baking these elongated ship-like biscuits since 1781. You can buy tourist packs there, but if you just want to taste for yourself, €5 will actually get a handful of pastry goodness. Take the 81 bus, which will drop you off at Boulevard de la Libération, which will then put you within a few blocks of the Palais Longchamp, a fairy-like monument with an elaborate fountain up front called the Château d'Eau, or Water Castle. There are 2 museums to each side, but they are only free on the first Sunday of every month, so if you don't make it for then just enjoy the gardens by themselves. And right next to the bus station is a Carrefour City supermarket, because yes, picnics are very Marseillan, and €10 will stretch to get you a pretty amazing spread, even a bottle of wine. To make it extra Marseille, get yourself an aioli garlic mayonnaise spread, the sauce of choice in the region, and then buy some vegetables, bread, cheese, canned fish, etc. to dip in it. You've made yourself an aioli provençal complète, and for way less than a restaurant. Just for reference though, this is what it looks like in a restaurant. And from there, picnic, explore, nap even.
From there, you should check out La Friche, an old tobacco factory that's been turned into an awesome exhibition, art, and street culture space.
If you're here on a Friday or Saturday, you should absolutely try to make La Friche's Toit Terrain, where their 8,000 square meter rooftop space is turned into a food fair and DJ'd party from 7 to 11 p.m. A sandwich and fries was around €9, so getting more than one wine will probably be out of your budget, but the vibes of Marseille's young art-loving families is definitely worth checking out.
With the total cost of this day adding up to voila!
The beach! After all, you're on the French Riviera. What's the fun in not spending some of those moments in beautiful blue waters? Especially after 2 days of soaking in as much as you did of the city. Good for you. Though first, head towards the Palais du Pharaon. This area includes a beautiful park to stroll around in, and see yesterday's Museum and Port St. John from the other side. It was built by Napoleon III for his wife Eugénie but she ended up giving it to the city of Marseille. It became a hospital for a while and now is a conference and hotel space. When you've admired the views and the greens and people doing stuff there, the 83 bus will take you to rest and relaxation next to the water. The great thing about Marseille's beaches is that they're free, and guess what? You get to picnic on them! One fun thing to do throughout the day is actually beach hop, so you can get a feel for the vibe of the several beaches in the area. I only went as far as the Plage du Prado, a more stony, less sandy beach that's right across from a casino supermarket. Honestly, that's also the most convenient, since at that point the 83 starts to head straight back into the city. Give yourself 12 euros to spend on snacks and sandwiches for the day and head on down for your first meal by the water. To make it a little more Marseillan, I recommend getting some canned sardines, a specialty of the region. When you get tired of one beach, your 3-day card will let you get on and off the bus at every other beach along the way. The sun sets around 8:30 during the summer and is just an all-around fantastic sight to see. Stay around for some of it, but be sure to get back into town before 10 if you want something to eat. Assuming you're staying one more night here, the 83 drops you back off at Rue-Port. This time around, head to the right and walk through Cour Jean Ballard to a small plaza demarcated by the statue of Milon de Crouton. Right next to it is Pizza Capri, yet another wonderful pizza joint in the city. Get a slice of a different flavor this time and sit by the statue to enjoy. When you're done, get one of the tables at Le Pointu for patis, some tapas, and people watching till the end of the night. It's time for our final round of math, with the total cost of this day adding up to and therefore the 3 days adding up to
You will have managed to experience that city pretty dang well for 100 euros. Good for you. Now, just a reminder that this is an itinerary specifically to keep costs low while still getting a full 3 days of flavor in. Obviously, if you do have extra funds, there's a load of great fresh seafood to eat and wine to sip, exhibitions to wander around through, and boats that will take you to the outlying islands that are pretty awesome. But for the purposes of this video, just know that you can still enjoy the city for very, very cheap. If you have any questions or comments, including Elaine, please stop filming these destination videos in unrelated destinations, leave them in the comments below. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe, and you can find me off of YouTube on my website or Instagram. See you next time doing whatever it is I'm doing.